Hello and welcome back to BWS, Blueprint to Wellness and Success. Today, hi co-host, by the way.
Hello.
How you doing, Jeanette Smith?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Great. And today we have a very special guest. I want you to introduce our guest because I know you guys are friends.
Yes. Oh my God. So you probably know my next guest, Idalis, as an MTV VJ from the 90s or from her all-girl group Seduction. Do you remember Seduction, Ada?
I do remember seduction, actually. Woo!
Okay, and
Welcome to Dallas.
also, and also, she is an actress. She's been on shows like 6 Feet Under and Nip Tuck. I know her as my dear friend, La Boricua is here
Woo!
today. Adalis, girl, welcome to Wellness to Success. How are you? How are
I
you?
love it. Hello.
Welcome to Dallas. Welcome.
Thank you. Wellness to
Which
success. I love it.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And so, first of all, I have to tell everyone why I adore this woman. Mhm. First of all, and I told Dr. Ada this before, she looks like my mom. And that is so important that I have to start that off because I met Adalis 3 years before my mom passed away. Dr. Ada, I was in Puerto Rico. I took my mom to Humacao, Puerto Rico, because that's where she was born. And my mom, at the age of 5, came to New York City. She never went back, and my mom had gotten very sick. So I wanted to make sure that she went back to her roots before she would pass.
Oh, so
And I
nice.
go, yeah,
That
isn't
was a
that
beautiful
crazy?
thing that you did for your
Yes.
mom.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you. And let me tell you, and I was blessed because I take my mom to this really cute hotel. It was like, what was it, a condo, a hotel, something
Yeah.
like that.
Like a condo.
Yeah. And so I go there and I go to a local grocery area where you buy like beer and bread and stuff like that. And I'm by myself and I see this beautiful female and she's sitting outside of the store. And I look over to her. Now, I knew this was a superstar. More so because she looked like my mom and I mean, she's gorgeous, okay, as you can see, Dr. Ada.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 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 yeah. And so I knew she was a celebrity because one thing about me is I have a photogenic memory. Like I see someone and I never forget your face. So I went over to her. She was so kind to me. We talked and as the story continued, I told her that she had to see my mom. Ada, because she looks so much like her. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. So she comes to my room. My mom is in a wheelchair. My
Mhm.
mom looks over to her and they look at each other and they're like, what the hell?
Now, I mean, when you said that to me, I was like, you know how people say you look like somebody,
Right.
and you
And you
usually,
don't.
and
Yeah.
usually
And you
don't.
don't see it.
Yeah.
You don't see
Yeah.
it. When I walked into her condo and I looked at the wheelchair and I looked down at this gorgeous woman, I look down and I'm looking closer to her face, and it's like I see myself.
Wow.
It's so
Yeah.
wide. Like I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah.
oh my God. I said, oh my God, you're me. I'm like, I see me. Oh my God, you're not kidding. She looked just like me.
Yeah. She looks so much like, oh my God, I couldn't believe.
It's so
So,
funny because, and even if if we were together, people would think she's my mother, and then my
right.
mother, people would think that
She's
Jeanette is
Jeanette's
our
mother.
daughter.
Mother.
Yeah, my mother
Yeah.
looks more like Jeanette than me.
Uh,
Yeah. I think there was a switcheroo, Dr. Ada. I
you
think there
never
was a
know.
switcheroo.
You never know.
But now, more than that is that she looked like her, and she had the swag like her too.
Yeah.
Listen, I know swaggy ladies. Okay, I know Dr. Ada. I know a lot of swaggy ladies. So I knew she had a personality very similar to my mom, and so that was such a beautiful moment. And after that, we became friends. We stayed in contact. And one of the things I have to tell you is that she was there doing charity work, which I thought was fantastic because at
Oh.
that time I wasn't doing any charity work. She was helping, right? You were building homes and
We
houses.
were so it was a 2017 storm.
Mm.
What was the name of that storm? I forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
Anyways, it was one of the the storms
the
that took
bigger
everything out.
storms. Yeah,
The big one, the big
Devastating.
one, the big one
yeah,
that took everything out in Puerto Rico. I mean,
right.
and so I always felt like, God, what am I doing? Like everybody's volunteering and everything. And so I joined this company called Hands on Hearts, and we build the rooftops. We help rebuild rooftops. So it
Love
Hmm.
was
it.
in Humacao, and what is that little village that we did it in? I can't remember the name of it. It'll come to me.
Yeah, and it was crazy. So when she tells me she's going to build these houses, I'm looking at her like, okay, okay. And then the thing is that I remember talking to her in the car, like she was driving to the location. And I was like, you're not scared? Like, what the? So, powerhouse female. So, I love to share that story. And then as we got to know
Awesome.
each other, I didn't know all these things about her. Like she was an actress, she was an MTV star. So these things came out later, but we became very good friends. And so I wanted to bring her on because she is my mentor and she has taught me a lot. She actually helped me a lot with El Camino in the beginning stages, teaching me how to be on camera, giving me a lot of tips. So I want to say thank you, and I'm blessed to have her in my life because my mom left, and I thought she was a gift from God. So that is my little story.
We
Very
had
nice.
a great time then, and then Jeanette is so fun. I wish I had the little video. Remember the little video we made at the bar, and then we're playing like I
Yes.
think Suavecito or something on the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was like the
Yeah.
second day that we met each other.
Right, right. And we went to a really beautiful restaurant. It had the big sign, like Puerto
Yeah,
Rican flag.
yeah.
So,
Right.
and this is it. And then I'll let Dr. Ada ask you some more questions. At that time, I was very overweight. And one of the things I remember, I had lost weight over the years. But at that time, I was like, I had just gotten out of a divorce. I was kind of struggling with my mom because Dr. Ada also has a parent that is also sick right now.
Mhm.
And I was struggling with so many things. And I remember her telling me, giving me so much encouragement to lose weight and to be the badass that I am now. So I want to say, Wepa.
Yeah. It's funny the way God puts these angels
Yes.
in our way, in our path. He takes away, but then he gives us,
Yeah, another
something
way. Yeah.
else. So,
Absolutely,
a blessing.
absolutely.
But let's
Thank
jump
you.
right into it.
Yes,
So, gosh, we have so many questions. And once again, thank you for being on our show, on our podcast.
You're welcome.
So my question to you is from your MTV days, do you have any celebrities that you met that you still keep in contact with, or that was amazing to interview, or maybe
for
not?
Well, I
stories.
I don't
Yes,
I don't keep in touch with anybody like celebrities, but I did one of the last interviews that Biggie Small did. I really want to actually get that interview, but MTV had they weren't organized when it came to like their video catalog.
uh-huh.
Believe it or not, maybe they've modernized it by now.
I'm
This was
sure.
obviously 25, 30 years ago. But
Absolutely.
I did one of the last interviews with Biggie Smalls with the whole West Coast, East
Wow.
Coast battle and everything. And
Yeah.
6 months later, he was not
He
here.
passed.
So that was
Oh,
really one of the last interviews. That was one of the last interviews, one of the near last interviews that he did. So I mean, it
Wow.
was a good one. It was at the beach house too, and he was talking about how he didn't want any more beef and he didn't want any more drama. And he was a sweetheart. Biggie was from Brooklyn. We idolized him in Brooklyn. The minute I heard Juicy, I knew he was gonna be a big star and a big hit. And I remember the day they added it to the MTV rotation. Every month we would have a meeting and all the VJs, all the producers, associate producers, and staff are supposed to go because they show you the new videos they'll be adding that month. And I remember when
mhm.
I had been hearing Juicy and about Biggie in the streets and on the radio. They had some radio play at the time. I didn't know him before that because I know a lot of people that knew him before that in Bed-Stuy and that he used to go to local concerts and rap and how good he was. I only heard about it after, the devil got his hands on him, Puffy.
Mhm.
But I remember when they added it to the rotation, I said, "Oh my God, they're adding Juicy." I knew if they added that video, Juicy, I knew he was going to blow up because I
Yeah.
knew the album was good.
Wow.
And I knew that Puffy was going to do good visuals. Whatever you want to say about Puffy, he did have his ear to the ground. He did. He was a marketing genius, but
Wow.
he also knew how to pick great artists. You know what I mean? He did that at the label before at not Bad, but Bad Boy was his label, but the
Bad
label
boy.
at Motown, right? And Motown, I
Oh.
think it's at Motown with Andre Harrell.
Mm.
So he helped sign Mary J. Blige, Jodeci,
Right.
all those acts.
Right.
So and Andre was a good mentor too. But
Yeah.
Puffy was talented in that way. So I mean, having the one of the last interviews with Biggie is one of the big
Highlight.
highlights of my career in terms of
Yeah.
MTV, I would say.
Amazing. Amazing. Yes.
Wow. Anyone that you particularly liked a lot besides Biggie? Was there any other artists that you would have liked to stay in contact over the years?
Really like to stay in contact with celebrities, but like I really like LL Cool J was super nice.
Okay.
Most celebrities, I would say 80% of celebrities are really cool, very nice. There's
Okay.
that
Yeah.
20% that are like bitchy, but and entitled, but very few, they were all very nice. I got to dance with Sting. I didn't get I
Mm.
Oh,
actually
wow.
I didn't get to dance with Sting. I
Oh.
asked him to dance at the Grammys in a party up at the Rainbow Room in Manhattan. The Rainbow Room was a really ritzy place, and they had the after Grammy parties there.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
And I asked Sting if he could if he would want to dance, and he's like, "Oh no, I can't do that. I'm married." And he was
Oh.
so nice. It wasn't about being married. It was about this guy was an old veteran, and he knew women could get you in trouble just by dancing with them. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, he knew
Wow.
what was up.
Yeah, yeah. All the cameras were there.
Exactly. I met Diana Ross that night too. She was sweetheart.
Oh,
Was
nice.
she nice? Okay.
Oh, gorgeous, sweetheart, and her daughter was there with her. A sweetheart. They're a really nice family. Love Diana Ross, one of my idols.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me too.
Wow.
Love Diana Ross.
Yes, yes. Um,
Okay.
anything you want to ask her? I know you were asking me off camera things that you were gonna ask her.
Yeah, well,
Oh,
those were, yeah.
what was that one that you said? Who was the bitchy people?
That
Okay, let's see. Was
20%.
anybody that was bitchy? I had a little run-in with Jared Leto.
Mm.
Jared Leto, the actor. Do you guys know who?
Hmm.
Yeah, he was a little like he was in his Kurt Cobain mode with greasy hair. He idolized Kurt Cobain, so he kind
Uh-huh.
of was. I was working as a broadcaster, and I had a broadcast coach too. They sent me to a coach for interview technique. I actually still use one of the techniques that teacher taught me. She's really
Uh-huh.
name is Joanna Stevens. She's in New York. She's out of New York. She's a great media trainer. And anyway, Jared Leto was giving me one word answers. And if you are, I talk a lot. So Jeanette knows, oh, be no problem. She'll talk a lot. She's she's fine. But if you talk a lot, I mean, if you do one word answer, it's the death of an interviewer. You really
Mhm.
need time for the person to talk so that you can get your next question ready.
Right.
Right, right.
Yeah, so he had one word answers because he was all in the moody kind of Kurt Cobain mood, and I was like, oh, he's annoying me, and he was just so like self-absorbed and everything. I know J Lo, I find is very self-absorbed. She's also somebody else who is very,
Mm,
very, very, very focused on herself. Kind of really didn't care about you. Didn't care a lot of. I had a couple of run-ins with her.
oh.
But if my mom said, if you have nothing nice to say about someone, don't say anything
Don't
at all.
say it. Yeah.
So I have
You
nothing
say.
to say about her. But otherwise, everybody was awesome. Like celebrities are actually awesome. They're fun. They were great interviews. I don't really have complaints about anybody really.
Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Cool.
Puffy, I never really. I know Biggie was awesome. He was a warm teddy bear. Puffy, I never got any vibe from him, but he's like a corny bucktooth motherfucker. Like he's corny to me. Like he was a young kid. He was actually cool. I admired his marketing genius and everything. And obviously I knew Andre Harrell. I bump into Puffy here and there, but not a big deal. He was always distracted with something, whatever. I was happy that he didn't come on to me because I thought he was not attractive. But I did admire his hustle. You know what I mean? I liked his swag and hustle. Like for him to have made it, he was so young. He was so young, and to have accomplished what he accomplished at such a young age is remarkable. It really is. He is remarkable. In the end, you find out he really didn't produce anything. He just put the people together. You're thinking that, and then he signed these acts, but actually Andre really signed them with him. But if you think of any of his acts, if you look at his acts, like if you look at any of the acts that he signed with Biggie, but all these acts that he signed on Bad Boy, none of them really have achieved financial successful status except him. He's the only one. I mean, that says a lot. He was like a vacuum cleaner if you signed to him. If people only knew to sign to Bad Boy is to sign to like a vacuum cleaner, takes all your money. Why do you think that what's his name ran and left and became a pastor?
Oh,
Nas, not Nas. Sorry, Mace.
What's his name?
Mace left his ass and became a pastor. That's the kind of encounter you have with the devil.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, you're not making any money here. I mean, Mace made those big hits in the 90s when Biggie wasn't around anymore. Biggie, he like really stepped into Biggie's shoes, really, if you think about it. Mace made all those hits with him afterwards. But you gotta give it to Puffy. I mean, he knows how to put his finger on the hits, use people to get the hits, and then collect all the money. I mean, there's a skill in that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they say that the person that invented the Ford car, like the car from back, he had all these powerful minds. He never did anything.
Oh, Henry Ford.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. It was everyone
he gets all the
around him.
But he gets all the accolades. Henry Ford is known as one of the biggest inventors or CEOs of a company, like the automobile industry that gave us a lot of wealth, gave America a lot of wealth. But but putting people together, I do think is a skill, and it should be admired as a skill. I mean, he looked at like, oh, you're the inventor, you did it all, like, but in the end, someone who puts people together like that is skillful. That is skillful.
Yeah, I agree. So can we talk about your podcast? And me and Dr. Ada want some tips on our podcast. So
absolutely,
tell us about your podcast that you've been running it for a while now. Can you just give us some insight on that?
I did. I have not been running my podcast for a while. I haven't even launched it, but I mean, I was doing some media training and helping people figure out podcasts and the market.
Okay, right.
I was doing media training for all the broadcasters on, all the stations. And I stopped that after a while and just was kind of figuring my next step. And I want to do a podcast about mostly brown music, brown people, brown politics. And a little bit of bochincha on the side. I just feel like
that's the extra sauce in Dallas.
Exactly. I love your voice, Ada. Your voice is so good for this.
Yeah,
I love it. And then your psychology background is excellent for being an interviewer and being a broadcaster, talk to people, because that background will help you so much.
Thank you.
I wanted to do a thing of like, in the Spanish communities and like Mexican television, Latin television, Latin American television, it's all very, the Blanquitos are the one that get the stage, the forefront. They're in the forefront of the soap operas, all the TV shows, and nobody knows that there are black Latinos, or Latinos that are brown, darker Latinos. They're always pushed to the back. well, me and Ada get to pass once in a while. People like Jeanette and my sister. Although you look hella light skinned today, girl.
The light, it's the light.
It's a
It's the
light.
lighting.
Yeah, we're the
But
same complexion, Jeanette and me.
oh, I know. Oh, I'm saying, wait a minute. I can't tell. Cause Ada, you look hella light, but right now.
Yeah,
Okay, so you guys get
I'm lighty.
passed. You know what I mean? You guys get passed over,
Yes.
especially when it comes to Spanish television,
Mm.
and I always thought that was so weird and how nobody talks about that. And I just wanted to bring more artists that, have a little or more trigueño to the forefront of the
Wow.
stage.
That's
Even
amazing.
if you look at all the hits right now, look Carol G, Bat, but they're all very lights, they're all white Latinos.
Yeah.
True. That is true.
Those are the Latinos those are the ones that get pushed to the front.
Who was the last one? Was it what's her name?
Carol G? No.
Shakira,
Xiomara La
Shakira.
Negra? No, the one that used to do like Celia Cruz with the afro. Amara La Negra.
Amara, it's a reality girl, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Love and Hip
right.
Hop. Is that Love and Hip Hop?
Love and hip hop, yeah. But now
Yeah,
she's in a
she's the
Spanish.
first one. She's the first one that speaks Spanish, fluent Spanish, and yeah, she was like, yeah, she's exactly what I'm talking about. Nobody knows that these people exist. In Black people who were born here from the South, they're perplexed. They're like, what are you? You're like,
Right.
if someone speaks Spanish and they're kind of like middle skin, like, um, like olive, maybe towards a tan side, they look at them like Puerto Rican or just Latino. They look at them separate as they're not Black.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There was a podcast with what's his name, Jason Lee, and he had a guy on there, I think an actor, and he spoke Spanish. They knew him as a Latin actor, but he's like, I'm Black. And he's Black. He's a brother. He looks like a brother. And they're like,
Hey.
oh, we thought you were Latin. Like Jason Lee and the co-host, what's her name? I forget her name. The video vixen. I forget her name. Anyway, she was saying, I thought you were Latin. And it's just the ignorance. I'm like, wow, how did you think he would? First of all, he appears to be Black. I mean, how do you, just because he speaks Spanish or you've seen him on a show that he's Spanish or whatever, why would you assume he's Latin and he's not Black? Like, what does Black mean? Then you think about that. So I am passing. I'm mixed. I'm like Puerto Rican. So Puerto Ricans are Spanish, Taino, Indian, and Black. But my sister is more Black presenting than I am. But so when I'm with Black people, although I always feel more comfortable in a room with Black people, but I'm never, it's dependent how I market it myself with the acting. It's like, oh, if it's a Black part, I'll go in as a Black girl. And then if it's a Latin part, I'll go in as a Latin girl.
You could go either way.
Most of the parts I got were Latin. So then a lot of the casting directors put me in that category because, or else I wouldn't probably work because light-skinned girls weren't working that much.
Idalis, you're losing your light.
Oh, I am? Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I am losing my light. Let me turn the light on.
Okay.
Let me turn the light on. Okay.
Well, in the meantime, I have the next question.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know tips for somebody that wants to go into journalism. I mean, was that the route you took or
What route?
journalism, like media journalism,
Oh,
hosting?
what did I was modeling. That's what happened with me. I was modeling. So from modeling, I went into acting. I took acting classes for years in New York. And then in terms of needing work, I started booking like video things. I booked a computer shopping show, and then I booked what else did I book after that? God, so long ago. Oh, I booked a music show. I booked a show called Music Scoop. And it was a syndicated series, and it was going to air like 13 episodes. And so I did that. And then after that, I got MTV.
Awesome.
I did not go to broadcast journalism. I did not go to college. I skipped college.
Okay. So in this day and age, what would you say for someone that wants to break into business that way?
Break into broadcasting or break
Uh,
into
broadcasting, journalism, hosting
yeah.
shows, presenting.
Um, I'm a person who didn't go to college. I wish I did. And I say this because, it's a club. Like once you've gone to college and you've graduated college, there's a club out there that,
And no one can take that away from you.
and no one can take it away from you. It also prepares you for a lot of stuff. And also there's a club. They're not going to let you in if you didn't go to college. I know I haven't been let in for many, many years. And I still broke that barrier. But
Mhm.
why do you have to break barriers? Just, go to college, get a degree. Although they're telling Gen Z now not to do that. It's bullshit. It's a lie. So
Right,
people
right.
of color, especially, this is very important for people of color because white people and black elites, they know how to do that. You know
Mhm.
who doesn't know how to do it is Latinos. A lot of them don't go to college, but the black elites go. They know. They
And
have they have their own club.
yeah, yeah. Our previous guest in our show that we were just recording before this one, we had a college, I guess she's a college advisor, right, Jeanette?
Yeah.
Um,
She
scholarship,
owns, yes, she owns a college cafe. So she instructs students, high school students, elementary, middle school, on how to obtain scholarships so they can go to college.
college, yeah,
Right.
Because now it's becoming where it's, so expensive to go. So she teaches them how to acquire the scholarships
right.
to help them get
Because
in,
that's a whole nother like full-time job is to
Mhm.
figure
Yeah,
out how to get all that too.
Oh
navigate
yeah.
that. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
indeed.
lot. And
And
when you come from money, where people have money, it's easier to navigate that. But when you have
Right.
money, both parents are working full-time jobs, you're working at school, you have a part-time at high school. You know what I mean?
right,
Working class people don't
right,
have the leisure of time to look all this shit up.
Right.
But
That's
the
so true.
elite people who have money and they have parents who are like, my parents didn't do nothing for me when they had no money for college, nothing. So like when you have affluent parents, they plan, they plan,
oh,
and then
yeah,
they set
from the
aside
minute
money
they're
for.
born or before they're born.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yes,
before. Yeah, they plan for that. But a lot of people
absolutely.
that are working class or from the ghetto, we don't have anybody with our back like that because, in their defense and my mother's defense, she didn't know, she didn't know to do that.
Right.
But it's like, how do you not know? It's like, how do you not know? You know what I mean? That's not a good excuse anymore. And if you're not saving for college for your child, what are you doing? What are you
Right.
doing? You
Well,
have to
some
have.
of them aren't able to save for college, but
Correct, correct. But so you
yeah,
do the scholarship thing and you find
right.
out about the scholarship programs. You start that in ninth grade.
You
You
get
start,
informed.
I think ninth is too late. I think they should start it in middle school, these programs.
Oh,
I think they
yeah.
should start it in sixth grade.
Right, right. I mean, I was a school counselor for 30 years. I was a therapist. And we start them in elementary school. We start talking about and having workshops around, what they want to do for a living.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's going on right now because I'm a broadcaster and I pay attention to the media. And when Jeanette says I'm a mentor, she means like just me because media, because I know media backwards and forwards. I've done it my whole life. I studied. It's been my life, my lifelong story. But all these people with when you're doing media, and these kids are studying media or trying to go into podcasting or broadcasting, that these days you don't really have to, you necessarily don't have to go to college, but I would say go to college if you want to for journalism. You don't have to. You can jump right in. And one of the great things about being in media these days is that you can do it on your own. I would say the advice I would give is like just start broadcasting. You
Right.
know, there's a lot of podcasts that drive me crazy because they don't really know the rules of broadcast. We've done this little square thing. It doesn't change much. You can't reinvent the wheel. So eventually all these podcasts will come to a standard that that I like. But in the meantime, they don't care. All they care about is the storytelling. So in the end, the storytelling is what matters. Obviously, sound is more important than picture. So make sure your sound is good, and then your picture or something. I had something else to say, but I lost it, so it'll probably come back to me.
So you're kind of giving us some tips on podcasting. Can you give us like 5 tips that you can offer us,
And
Dr.
I
Ada and
just
I?
I gotta jump in and say we have roughly 3, 4 minutes, so
Oh,
we
we
have
don't
to
have a lot
start
of
wrapping it
time.
up.
Well, I guess we can have her back.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
exactly.
But maybe she could give us those tips. Can you give us
Yeah, can
one
you
or
give
two
us some
few?
tips quickly?
I would say prepare for your guests, because you want to have an outline. Because I think me and Jeanette talked about this. You want to have an outline of a story. So the interview is not just a conversation. It's just not. You really have to be prepared, because what will happen in broadcast, bad things happen. It's like a storm, and what could go wrong will go wrong. So you want to be prepared. You don't want to script it out, but you want to have a scaffolding, like a beginning, a middle, and the end of the story.
Mhm.
You're telling the story. The story is someone else's story, right? But you're the storyteller. So it's your responsibility to get the story that you want to tell and outline it. Have a beginning. You guys did an open, have a middle where we have a story about, for us, it was Biggie Small's story, and then
Yeah.
and have a close, which I give you tips about how to make a great broadcast. In the end, when you're broadcasting, you're feeding the audience. So you want to constantly feed the audience. You have to feel like you're feeding the audience all times, and try to never have any dead air.
Mhm. So important.
Yeah, you want to feel.
Tell us about what are your next steps? What are your plans?
Well, I want to do this podcast. I call it Azúcar Marrón, which means
Oh,
brown sugar. I
yeah,
remember as a little kid going to Puerto Rico, and it was filled with sugar canes. Not anymore, but sugar was one of our number one exports. And when you get sugar, when you see sugar in its natural way, it's brown. It's not white. It's
right.
made white, but it's brown. So that process made me think like, oh, that's a good name. I'd like to do the broadcast. I'm going to launch it soon. I keep on procrastinating, but I hope to launch that soon.
Do
And
it. Do it. Take the leap.
yes, and I live by the ocean,
Oh,
um,
beautiful.
Pacific. So I'm very
Yeah.
happy to be here.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. There are some things that I'd like to change, but I'm working on those. And
Good.
I'm working with the elderly right now, and I also volunteer for the homeless here. So I stay busy.
Oh, nice. I love volunteering also, I have to say.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Um, so thank you. I think that's it, right? I don't
Yeah,
think we
you
have
guys
Yeah.
are
much
gonna
more
run out.
time. Thank you for joining
Thank
us
you,
at
Adalis.
Dallas.
Thank you for
It was a
being you.
pleasure.
Thank
Will
you,
you come
guys.
back another time?
Blessings, blessings,
Okay,
blessings
thank
to
you.
you.
Please.
Thank you, Dr. Ada, and thank you, Miss Thing.
We want you to
We
come
love
back.
you.
Okay, Dallas, we want you to come back another time.
Yes, please come back. We need
Fill
more
us in.
juice. We need more juice.
Yeah, next time, yeah, we should talk about wellness.
Yes,
Well, we can
yes,
do that too.
absolutely.
Right. Well, nice to
Okay.
see you guys.
Okay, nice meeting you.
You
Okay,
too.
take
Yes.
care.
Bye,
Bye.
Dallas.
Bye,
Have
Dallas.
a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.